right now we're gonna jump into my initial thoughts on WWE 2K24. Since you guys are waiting a little bit, hopefully when you guys do get WWE 2K24, we do want to do on this podcast a stream, and my brain is also just thinking about like other things we can do, like title matches, and maybe we could have like a digital, champion, and then we can have it as we could have our own like little pay-per-view and stuff like that. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head, but I like that idea for streaming.
Have a listener
But
like fighter asses.
yeah, I feel like that could be pretty entertaining. But I also want to use it as an opportunity to just talk about shows that just happened. So we could be doing, tag matches or singles matches or whatever it is, and just chat about, if it's SmackDown or Raw or Dynamite, whatever it may be, as another opportunity to, show a different kind of content on our channel. So keep a lookout for that. But my initial thoughts on WWE 2K24 are actually really good. I just went through the showcase mode and I'm basically done. The last match that they do when it comes to WrestleMania specifically is 39 between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. You actually get 3 matches from that specific WrestleMania. You got Bianca Belair versus Asuka, and then you have Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley as those 3. And I just ended the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match right before this recording, and I thought I was done with the mode. And then they said, congratulations, you have a bonus match, and it's a 30-man Royal Rumble with every single big WrestleMania person that appeared in WrestleMania. So you get like this giant character select screen of all the big hitters, heavy hitters, and I picked Shawn Michaels. And I perhaps the arena changes depending on who you pick, but when I pick Shawn Michaels, the arena turns into WrestleMania 10, and you have a giant Royal Rumble, and you gotta A, win the match, but then B, eliminate 1, 5, 10 people as the challenges keep going. So I'm very curious to see where that goes. But it does build upon WWE 2K23 in the sense of there are similar modes and there are slight tweaks in terms of presentation and controls. So there's a thing with finishers now. When you have 3 finishers, when you have all 3 finishers stored, you get a super finisher, which basically is like if you have an F5 or whatever, he's gonna like F5 you like 3 or 4 times in one go. So it's gonna take up your entire meter and just really lays the smackdown on your opponent. The ambulance match I haven't tried yet, and I haven't tried the special referee match, even though I should have, because those are the ones that were really advertised. But I just wanted to get the showcase mode out of the way, and I'm really happy about it. There were a lot of people that talk about the blurring out of Vince McMahon's face, but that is funny. But there are actually a lot of things that are blurred out in their wrestling clips. There are referees, yeah, exactly. I'm like, why'd you? I think one of them was not Mike Chioda. Who's the one who
Mike
screwed Bret Hart? And Mike Chioda was
Earl Hebner.
Earl Hebner was, yeah, he was blurred. He got Benoit.
I trust Earl.
Yeah, I trust her. I think it's blurred out. Like sometimes it just looks goofy. Like they also at WrestleMania 31 when it was the what was Triple H's faction with he had the 2 goons and Seth Rollins was part of his the Authority. I think it's just called the Authority.
Yeah. J&J Security.
Yes, they got blurred out too. Like they just have like cough faces on themselves in that WrestleMania 31 arena, which is also good. Like it's outside. If you guys remember in like older games, if it's like an outside arena, it was still shoved within like a traditional wrestling arena, which I thought was stupid. But thankfully now with like 2K and I guess technology, they're able to actually do like an outside arena, and they've been doing that for a while, but I just want to bring it up because we never talked about that before. But yeah, their logos are blurred out. They had sponsorships. John Cena, they have the John Cena Bray Wyatt match from WrestleMania, whatever the 2021 was, where the Firefly Funhouse, that's a WrestleMania match. And he has like a logo on his hat that got blurred out, which I thought was weird. And I have never seen that match before, so I was actually very intrigued by this, just the whole concept of the match. David, you saw this match, right?
Yeah, it was a cinematic match.
Yeah. What did you think about it when you first saw it? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was good. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Me neither. When I was watching that, I don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
I wasn't
it was
sure what they were trying to. I mean, I guess like from my assumptions, it was kind of like maybe he's trying to delve into like John Cena's psyche or something
that's
like
what it ended
that.
up being. Yeah.
Yeah, because he came out he came out as ruthless aggression. Well, ish. He didn't look exactly like it. His ruthless aggression like debut outfit. He came out in the rapper gimmick. He came out in an NWO shirt, and I think I'm missing one. But yeah, so basically he's going through all these different stages, and
The weightlifting thing.
yeah, the way we're just going like this all the time. He's just going and going and going. It's super cheesy with like because he just over the top with his facial expressions. But yeah, that was my first time that I actually saw it from beginning to end. So that was interesting. And then what you can say whatever you want about the pandemic, but I think like it did allow for these kind of interesting takes on matches. AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. That was also another one that I thought they did really well in terms of the cinematic matches. Life gives you lemons, try what you want. And they did a pretty good job with those boneyard matches. But yeah, blurred out stuff. I think that's how I went on a tangent.
Do you still hear their
Yes.
voices though? Like,
Huh?
do you hear like Vince McMahon's voice or some shit? Or?
Yeah, and he was actually, which again doesn't make any sense. Maybe because they're like, oh well, this is the skeevy Vince McMahon because it's like the older version. But when it was The Rock versus Stone Cold, he's there with not his face isn't blurred. It's that WrestleMania where it becomes the power trip and they shake their hands. He's not blurred at all. So I don't know if that's just them forgetting to blur Vince McMahon within that match, or they have like a rule book that they just made up, in the past 4 months. This is okay, but this isn't okay. And the same thing with Brock Lesnar.
Moment.
What was that?
He's probably too big in that moment.
That's true. Like you can't just some guy in the middle of the ring just blurred out. But I mean, the referees are also blurred out. I don't know, because with the Charlotte Flair thing, he's on a microphone talking and he's got a blurred out face. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's weird, but it's not specifically to Vince McMahon. There's definitely probably like people who didn't want their face on camera, even though you would think at this point they are just part of the license of the footage. Like they just signed your face away. But maybe, enough time passed, they were just like, if I'm not getting any money for this, I don't want my face on there. That's what I'm assuming happened with those. Yeah, but honestly, really good mode. I tried the MyFaction thing, and that's been a really successful thing for WWE. And I didn't really try it the past 2 years, but I was playing around with it for these past 2 days, and I'm honestly kind of addicted to that mode. It's basically like a trading card game where it's called MyFaction because you create a faction and you start off with a number of options. You can be a technical faction group, you can be a high flyer, etc. So I picked the technical, and you basically get a pack. You open the packs, and then you get, a really good rare wrestler, some bronze, silver tiers, and then they have, daily challenges. You can also take your faction online, so they have a ranked mode where you can take your leveled up faction or your best deck of wrestlers and use them online. And it changes. It's a live service, so the decks and all that changes every couple of weeks, and so do the challenges. Kind of like Mortal Kombat with the weekly towers and that kind of stuff. That thing changes pretty frequently. And also, depending on the pay-per-view or whatever happens on WWE, that also affects the content within my faction. So I'll keep playing on it, and our next podcast will probably have more to talk about when it comes to that. But unfortunately, I haven't tried the online portion yet. I've seen some community creations, and that one that everyone likes to share with Kurt Angle's face as the sign in the crowd. That's one thing I want to definitely download when I'm back playing the game later tonight. But yeah.